Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Healthy Harrison podcast. Each Friday at this time, we present a program designed to help you change your state. Our ultimate goal is to change you individually, better nutrition, better exercise, better mental attitude, and our ultimate goal is to change the state of West Virginia so that everyone is living a healthier lifestyle. Bowden, glad to be with you again after being uh, Economic Development Corporation in Harrison County, and she's vice president of Healthy Harrison. Amy, welcome. I got to bring you up here. I'm got my picture reduced. There you are. Good.
Thank you. Hello,
There you are.
everyone. Welcome.
Yeah. We have now. My tip for today. I was going to do a little tip for today. We talk about people being healthier and being inspired, eating better, living life better, being happier about life. Um, are you a snooze alarm person, Amy?
I am not.
You never hit the snooze alarm.
I try not to. It makes it
Okay.
worse if I do. So I hit it
That's
and
my
I'm
tip
up.
for the day for everyone. Don't ever hit the snooze alarm.
Nope.
Get up and attack the day. It's a great way to start. My guests are smiling. I think they agree. Get up and attack the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you hit the snooze alarm, huh? Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Act like you're
Guilty.
Act like you're going to enjoy the day. No more snooze alarms. We're streaming live on the Healthy Harrison Facebook page. We also are streaming on the statewide distribution network of our media partner, wvnews.com. Each week at this time, we chat with individuals who are focused on the mission of Healthy Harrison, fostering measurable improvement to the health and well-being of the citizens of Clarksburg and Greater Harrison County and North Central West Virginia, and on and on and on beyond that one day, we hope. Jennifer Angiulli is one of our guests today. She's a principal in development and implementation of the Health Games, which started a lot of this. It was a competition that led to cash rewards for some of our local communities that participated, and she's currently a team leader now for the Northview community. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you.
And Will Hyman is a gentleman who's been very active in the Clarksburg and Harrison County community for quite a few years. And he also actually helped develop the entry for the Health Games for Northview. Is that correct? Will?
Yes, Gary. I was chosen as the team leader at Northview, and as when we wrapped it up, I kind of stepped back from that, and Jennifer stepped forward.
And now you're assisting Jennifer.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to flip it back to Amy, because one of the things we want to do, not everybody's totally familiar with the interconnectedness of what Healthy Harrison is trying to do, what the Health Games tried to do as a competition to initiate all of what we're about. So Amy, I'm going to toss it back to you for a little better description of what we're trying to do with this podcast each and every Friday.
Sure. Well, our goal each week is to really try to drive awareness, like you said, around the health and well-being to improve the health of West Virginia. We talk about change your state, change your mind, everything. It's really just to provide awareness. So we have Northview, like much of rural America. It has an aging population, and over the past 20 years, you see rental properties popping up all over the neighborhood. It's become more and more difficult to find a sense of community. Again, like rural America, it's happening everywhere. On top of all that, you see poverty rates, you see obesity growing, you've got community grocery stores that are closing, and it makes it more and more difficult to find access to fruit and vegetables, healthy choices. So then in comes Healthy Northview, who acknowledged this problem and is working diligently to provide and bring community together around health and well-being. Jennifer and Will have been actively engaged in their communities, and they draw awareness to the importance of nutrition and exercise. Recently, Northview invested $23,000 into an elementary school for an interactive playground. Healthy Northview has partnered with the Board of Education for Harrison County to offer nutritious snacks for the students. And additionally, Jennifer came up with an innovative way to get people off the couch and walking in the community. So I'm going to kick it back to you, Gary.
We're gonna talk about all of those, but the first thing I wanted to do is ask you, Jennifer, because you were active, as I mentioned at the outset, in the implementation of the Health Games when we actually had the competition where folks were vying for that cash cash prize. Now, so you've got the 20,000-foot observation level of all that was going on in this various neighborhoods that participated. You're actually the team leader now for one of the neighborhoods. So you're down at the street level.
Yes.
Tell me how that transition occurred and how it helped you being up above and now down on the street.
Sure. I came on with the health games when it was really just an approved developing idea. And John Paul Nardelli reached out to me, asked me if I could help him really spread the word. So I was kind of that on the ground presence, letting people know about the contest, what was at stake, what they needed to do to be a part of the challenge, to compete. And looking for those community leaders in each of those communities.
Right.
So we're in a COVID year. I just decided that it would probably be easiest to start picking up the phone, calling city government, looking at gyms, personal trainers, chiropractors, physical therapists, schools, churches, all the things that really run each community. And each community was really different, and where we found these community leaders. Some of them were everyday citizens that just wanted to make improvements in their community. Others were gym owners or personal trainers, city leaders. Will's, here in Northview, he's what I would call a community leader, but his outstretch is, beyond Northview and part of Clarksburg. So there were folks in every community that stepped up and wanted to be that leader. And from there, I shared my notes with them. Of course, I found other people that said, hey, I'm on board, whatever you want to do. So I shared that information with each community leader. And then I was really that liaison between Healthy Harrison and each community. I was there for problems they might have, or troubleshooting, media, those sorts of things. And then as we moved on into October for the health games, I became more of that event planner. I was there to kind of run that day, that make sure that it was smooth for everybody, for the media, and to get the word across about the health games. So then I got a little bit of a break, and Northview didn't win, but every community got some money that we could put towards leading a health program in our community. And Will decided, he's making a run for a city council, and he didn't want to lead on this project. So it was a natural selection for me to really step into, a community leader in Northview. And really much of what Will proposed in his program is what we're doing. He proposed that we put a loo at Northview Elementary School, and it's exactly what we're doing. He proposed a walking program. That's what we're doing. So he was really on the right track, and it was really easy for me to walk in there and take charge. And I think the community was ready to do something like this. They've had a year and a half of social distancing, and people have come together. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you stuck with it after helping Healthy Harrison and the health games, that you
Yes.
Were inspired enough to move on to the, as I say, kind of the street level in Northview.
Yes.
Will, Amy mentioned in her little setup there that a little the demographic profile of the Northview community. Based on that, it appears a Northview is kind of ground zero for what we're trying to do, is it not?
Yeah, she definitely explained it pretty clearly. The loss of the downtown Kroger, the aging population, and the poverty, and not to mention the kind of generational parenting we're seeing, where children unfortunately being raised by their grandchildren and others in our community. And we have the whole spectrum of issues here in Northview, and it's difficult when you were used to being able to walk to your downtown grocery store. That's no longer a possibility, especially for seniors who can't drive, younger people, or midlife people who they may not be able to drive either, and it's difficult for them to get over to Adamson. And that we almost became practically a food desert here in Northview. We have a convenience store or two, and that's just not going to cut it for providing fresh food and fresh fruit and vegetables as well. So we certainly have a lot of issues, especially again with the aging population. They're not getting out. participating in the community now that, the senior center has been closed and other places. So, it's been difficult to exactly encompass every single issue that we have. So, the Lou Interactive Playground that's at Northview Elementary School, will provide physical activity for children every day of the week, for hundreds of kids that come from all over our community to Northview Elementary School. The walking program will engage our seniors all over Northview, Staley, in the West End, Adamston as well. They all got involved in the participation of this event. And, we had a Facebook group with members from all over the community who were, interested and willing to participate. And, they registered for the event. So, we're trying to get not only Northview, but all those communities involved, and, just trying to make a play for everyone. Like I said, from the youngest to the oldest, we got to get everybody involved because that's our major demographic, unfortunately.
Right. You said that you talked about the walking program. Is that the same as the 90 for 90 or?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. We have, I think Jennifer also proposed some things on the rail trail as well, getting, Harrison Rail Trails involved, as well as paths throughout Northview. That's, you can record your mileage, and, that's the whole 90 miles in 90 days with some really great rewards, cash rewards and other things.
I love the concept. I love it. It seems simple. Like we keep talking about the baby steps, the micro steps you have to take. And that was yours, Jennifer, the 90 for 90.
Yes. Yeah. There's already a lot of people that already walk every day. So it's simple as keeping track of your miles, but there's also a lot of folks that are inspired to do something a little healthier this summer.
It seems doable.
Yes. Very
easy. I can do 1 mile a day.
Yeah.
How about, and I'll throw this one to Will because you were in a little different position, Jennifer. How has the transition occurred for you, Will, going from developing an entry into this competition and now being part of the Northview team where you're actually recruiting folks in and around your neighborhood? Both of you live in the neighborhood, recruiting folks to be a part of these activities that you've designed.
Yeah, well, that's how it kind of was for me from the start. That was kind of the goal that John Paul and Jennifer had talked about recruiting people in our community. So, the first thing I did was turn to social media. We created a group. We invited people. Of course, we know lots of people on Facebook and other places. Invited those people into the group, which kind of natural recruitment, for that position. But after the contest, John Paul was really twisting my arm to stay and do exactly what I've been doing. Implementing what we had in the healthy handbook. And, I told John Paul, I said, look, I will do anything you want me to do. I will cook hot dogs. I will park cars. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I just can't take the leadership of this any further. And that's when Jennifer stepped in. It's been a seamless transition. I think we all have the same ideas of what we want to do. And, at this point, I just want to be the muscle. Jennifer can be the brain, and we can push this thing forward.
Let me follow up. I'll switch over to you, Jennifer, because we don't want to miss the obvious. So what do I do? I'm a resident of Northview. What am I supposed to do? I'm buying in. I hear you. I want to do something. Tell me what I should do.
So it's pretty easy. Anyone can take the Northview Challenge, but you have to do 3 things. You have to register. You have to get weighed in at the beginning and the end of the program, and you have to keep track of your miles. Weigh-ins. We've had weigh-ins this last week. We've had 3: Northview Elementary School, Emmanuel Christian School, and we had one at St. James Church. We had 90 people to register for the program, but we can register people all the way up to June 1st. So if you are interested and you are listening, feel free to contact me on Facebook at Healthy Harrison Northview, and we'll get you weighed in before the program. We had United Technical Center student nurses come in and weigh everybody to keep the weights really discreet, and we coded them for privacy. And then children, they aren't registered or weighed in. All they need to do is keep track of their miles. If you're a Northview student or an Emmanuel Christian student, you received a walking log at school this week from your gym teacher, and all they need to do is keep track of their miles throughout the summer, and they'll turn that back in when school starts in the fall. And hopefully that encourages some families to walk over the summer. We're hoping.
Let me do a brief commercial. We want to let people know that this podcast is brought to you by WVU Medicine United Hospital Center. West Virginia University, the State Journal, wvnews.com, and Interaction Media, which always helps us as they are doing today with the actual technical aspects of putting on this podcast.
Thank you, Gary. I wanted to ask about participation. Have you had a decent, has it been consistent? Is there a certain age group that's more than the other, or
I'm
focus a little
starting
bit more
to,
target?
yes. So my goal is really to get 100 folks to sign up. I wanted 100 adults, 100 kids. Kids, we really won't know until after the program when they turn in those walking logs, but we had 90 to sign up throughout this week. And I think I'll get 10 more before
Oh, that's
June 1st.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I truly did, Will's great with Facebook and I'm not so great with Facebook. So we kind of, he took care of Facebook and I actually went out into the community. I printed a half-page flyer and I delivered one to every single person that lives in Northview. It was 1,400 flyers.
Oh my
I
God.
walked 26 miles. It took me 6 days. But I saw parts of Northview I'd never seen before. I also delivered them to the schools, the churches on Mother's Day, a daycare. So I really got the word out. We hung banners. So we let people know that, we're in the community and we want to do some good.
That's great.
Part of that Northview money needs to go toward getting Jennifer a new pair of shoes.
I wish the challenge started then. I'd had a good part of my miles already taken care of.
Jennifer, tell us about strawberries.
Well, I wanted to bring people to the registration and weigh-in, maybe giving them an extra excuse to come. So I was trying to think of something I could do. So I thought, well, strawberries. Strawberries are in season this time of the year in West Virginia. So I started researching it a little bit. And there's a couple organizations in the area that do the strawberry sale. Liberty High School wrestlers do it. They get their strawberries from Florida. And I thought, well, I'd really like to get a local strawberry. I don't even know if I've had a local strawberry before because most of them come from Florida, California,
Right.
Mexico. So that we do have a couple local farmers in the area. My best option was really to go to Marietta. Marietta is about an hour away, and there was a farmer, it was Valley View Farm, contacted him back in February.
You drove to Marietta, correct?
Yeah, we did. I let my kids skip school. We went down there. We picked the strawberries ourselves. We picked over 50 pounds and we brought them back to Northview and we thought, oh, that'll be enough. Within an hour, we were sold out of strawberries. We didn't take into account there'd be some folks that do strawberry preserves and they bought like 10 quarts at a time. So there's definitely a need for it. We're thinking at the end of program weigh-in, we might do a farmer's market and tap into some of our gardeners here in Northview. A lot of people have garden. I'm one of those folks. And, you get to the point where you have 80 tomatoes and you can't give enough away.
Yeah,
so we might
exactly.
bring those folks in, give away some of your produce. I might get back with this farmer and get some things that we don't have in this area, like melons and cherries, and see if we can do something like that in the future, a farmer's market or a community garden. I think we definitely have a need for something like that in the area.
Really good. I'd like to hear more about you mentioned the Loo, the interactive playground.
I had the pleasure of getting a demonstration this weekend when I was up there for weigh-ins. The gym teacher was there. It's fully installed now. They're still kind of learning the system, but it was pretty amazing. So this Loo, it has this giant screen that was built in the gym. It goes for the whole length of the wall, top to bottom. And they installed the Loo system on a beam on the ceiling. And it's this high-tech audio visual LED light system, and it projects onto the screen like a touch screen. And the demonstration that I saw, it was 2 kids kind of battling it out. It was a little educational game, like an arithmetic problem is on the screen and they have a chance to solve it, and there's multiple choice, and they take a ball and they bounce the ball into the answer, and then they move on to the next question. And they were super excited. It gets them moving, but it's educational. They also showed me some programs they have, like with yoga, that they plan on offering to teachers maybe after school or the community. So it's really exciting for the school. This is something they've wanted for a really long time, and they were raising money, but it's a very expensive system. They could have been raising it for an entire generation before they would have been able to raise that much money. So it's just, it's an asset to the whole community.
It's called the Lou.
Yes.
Will, how have you seen that become an asset for the community? And what's the age range? Because it's installed in a school inside, or is?
Yeah, Northview Elementary School.
Yeah, that's what, okay. So
Yeah.
it's primarily for young people then?
Well, it can be used for anybody, really. The
Okay.
only thing I've seen of it is videos and talking with the sales rep last year when the idea was put forth. Uh, there was a teacher from Northview Elementary and the gym teacher, Mr. Grimes, I believe his name is. He had messaged me, and they had said they had been raising money for the program, and he told me to look into it, and I did. And there were some different options, but from the videos that I saw, it was I'm assuming it could be ages anywhere from 4 to 64. I mean, as long as you can be mobile and move with it, you can play games. I saw there was history games and learning games, for all ages, really. It really looked amazing. And, to me personally, I thought the idea of putting it in the school, from what I had heard, Doddridge County Elementary School or one of the schools in Doddridge County has it. That was purchased for them, I believe through Antero. It may have been, but they said it was the only one in this area, and they were talking about how great it was. And like I said, when you can get hundreds of kids involved every day, that may be something that they can't do when the weather may be bad, or they just may not have the option to go out and exercise after school. They just just the conditions, or their parental. We just
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
but at
Once-
school,
once-
that they will get at least 30 to, maybe 60 minutes of it a day. And, so I thought for the value, I think it couldn't be matched.
So what do you do to get 18 plus involved in this? Because once you're 18 years old, you stay well, this is an elementary school, so we can even a little bit more, but
Well,
yeah,
I think it's possible that the school board and the teachers at Northview Elementary could have events where they could bring not just 18 younger people, but older people as well, with the yoga programs and other programs that and that could be events. It could be used for fundraising. The elementary school could use it, and charge a small amount, or charge for concessions or something along those lines, where they could actually maybe bring some revenue into the school from it.
I talked about this as a standard issue for rural America. We see it a lot. You see it in the communities, most recently the past 10 years, of just the loss of the core. You guys are both you live in Northview. A lot of positives. You guys are nailing it with all the, as far as the solution part. What are some of the challenges you're seeing now? I mean, you've got like the next phase.
The next phase needs to be nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yeah, we really need to focus on that. We are what we eat. We can't work out a bad diet. My plan would be to bring in-season produce into Northview, make it available some way. Maybe we get SNAP benefits to cover that. Maybe we distribute it through the school, but we also offer ways on how to use those healthy foods, affordable ways. It's not enough to give someone kale, but what do you do with the kale? Reasonable recipes that people can prepare at home quickly for families, but also address other issues. I think really simple things. I did some nutrition things at the school when my children went to Northview Elementary School. I wrote a grant there. We did a healthy lifestyle, nutrition and physical activity thing up there. And you'd be surprised at how many kids drink 3-4 pops a day, or how many kids stop at McDonald's after school every single day. Or I had a mom tell me one time she never fixes chicken for her family because she's not sure how to prepare it, and she doesn't want to make her family sick. So these are all things we can probably work on. Maybe we give prizes for kids if you could reduce your pop amount. Maybe go down to 1 pop a day. We'll try that. You get a prize at the end of the week. Or this is We provide those in-season produce from local farmers, maybe. We have people that have eggs in the neighborhood. We have different things that we can provide to Northview residents that I think would really benefit everyone.
Do you run into any big objections when you're out selling this program? What might they be? Or is it just everybody loves the idea? It's just how do you get them to buy in and start?
That is true. That is true. I always think it's really important on our school level. We're such a unique community because our school is a community school. It's a true community school. Northview Elementary School has been here for over 100 years. There's 320 kids that go to that school, and 80% of them are walkers. So, that just kind of gives you an idea. I think if we offer it on a school level and then branch it out throughout the community, also our churches, we have 3 major churches in our community. And they're also instrumental. And I got their participation in this program. They are all on board. As I was walking around Northview, you do get a little bit of resistance. We have an older population. Oh, I don't think I can walk, or, but I think it's just staying in the community, letting them know that we're here and that we have these programs. We're offering Tai Chi this June every Monday at St. James Gym. And that's for anybody on any skill level. Mark Coffindaffer is going to teach the class, and that he teaches at the Senior Citizen Center. So maybe if you like it at Northview, maybe you'll want to, join him at the Senior Citizen when he has it there. We're trying to offer programs for everyone so that the whole community can get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Will, you had talked about kind of the overlap, the cleanup. It's not specific to Northview. Now, so are some of these programs offered outside Northview as well?
It was originally intended to incorporate the 3 major neighborhoods, I guess, west of, west of the part of the city, Northview, Adamson, Staley. And, we invited other communities like, Arlington or Riverside or any surrounding communities that wanted to be in there. We didn't turn anybody away to join our Facebook group. So, I know some other people came from out of the community. People who live over in these other neighborhoods came, and I saw them at the weigh-in, the first weigh-in at Northview Elementary School. So, I think we're opening the door for everyone who wants to get involved. And if you want to get involved, you should reach out to our Facebook group, Northview Health Games, or our Facebook page, which I believe is the same, Northview Health Games as well. So we want everybody to be in it, not just Northview. And it's, like I said, it's open for everyone. They can reach out to anybody from the group and get involved.
That's great. I know it's a tight-knit community. I've got plenty of friends that were born and raised there. They don't live there now, but
Yeah.
I think they would love to come back for something like this just to participate.
Absolutely.
That is true. That is true. These multi-generational families that just keep an interest in Northview is what
Yes.
makes Northview so special.
That's where their heart still is, and they
Yes,
still feel it. They are.
absolutely.
And it's the same thing with Shinston, Lumberport, the other
That's right.
communities. It's Lost Creek.
Yes.
Let me remind folks again very quickly that the Healthy Harrison podcast couldn't happen without assistance from our sponsors, WVU Medicine, United Hospital Center, West Virginia University, the State Journal, WVNews.com, and Interaction Media. We talked about, obviously, the connection with Northview Elementary School. Is there a connection, Will, or Jennifer, with the Board of Education too? Are you doing something collaboratively with them?
We did the
Or is it just Healthy Harrison in general?
We did the healthy snack boxes over, it was February and March. We distributed them to every child, and that was a collaboration with the school board.
Okay.
They helped us provide that. And it was sort of our debut into that school, into the community. Every child got a healthy snack box to take home, and then it provided a little bit of information on what's to come. Like, hey, did you hear we're getting a loo in the school and what a big deal that is? And hey, we're going to have a walking challenge this summer. Stay tuned. Details are coming. So, and they've been instrumental. We have to contact them with media. Anytime we put on something on Facebook or any big project, we try to involve them so that they can get the word out to, the folks that follow them. So.
You said you walked the whole neighborhood of Northview.
I did.
Let's get some of the feedback. What are people saying? Are you guys doing a great thing for their community? Are they happy about the opportunity?
Oh, I think so. I think it's welcomed. People are usually energized when they see someone putting themselves out there. You know, I'm taking my time to invest in my community, and you know, you had a lot of folks that came out, I think, to support me personally, but also, you know, support this program. They want to see good things happen in Northview too.
Will, you've been involved in a lot of cleanup projects with your community action and your community involvement over the years. Is there some effort along that vein occurring in Northview, and how does that tie with all the other objectives of the Northview campaign?
Yeah, well, first of all, Clarksburg Community Action is a great group. I can just say that I'm a volunteer for them. I'm not I don't sit on their board, but you know, all of those people are great people. Wayne Worth, Jerry Riffle, and others. They are just great folks, and you know, they're doing great things in our community. And you know, we've done several cleanups in Northview where we've had you know, just a handful of people will come out, or you know, even dozens and dozens of people. I mean, I think the first one we had close to 30 people out here cleaning up trash, picking up litter. You know, it's unfortunately at the time, you know, we were finding things like discarded needles and other things, but you know, it's seen a difference. You know, we are making a difference here in all of our communities, not just Northview, but you know, we can tie that in there. We can. I believe the Clarksburg team, they incorporated Clarksburg Community Action with their I guess progress report that they had through their program. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that, you know, if you attended so many cleanups, you were eligible to with Clarksburg Community Action, you were entitled to some prizes, gift cards, and other things. So yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a great way to incorporate those with those. But again, I'm just a volunteer. I'm out there, you know, cleaning up with those guys, and it's, you know, it's a great thing that's happening in our community, regardless of where it's at.
But jointly, wouldn't a cleanup effort and a positive framework and state of mind toward better nutrition, better health, all work together?
Sure. I mean, absolutely. I think it would be a great thing to incorporate. In fact, you know, we can talk about that soon, Jennifer. That'd be a great idea.
It'd be a great way to get some steps in.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It definitely does that.
Yeah. 90 steps to a cleaner neighborhood.
Yes.
Clean up an area and prepare it for your community garden.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Amy, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to ask a question there.
No.
Okay. You said people have to turn in reports, and we'll kind of wrap up after this. Some people are documenting their participation. In what other ways, because we mentioned this at the outset too, that everything we're doing with Healthy Harrison, we ask our partners to make it measurable.
Right.
We want people to know and see the results. So in what other ways are you measuring so that you can take that data back to Healthy Harrison, and Healthy Harrison can go to some of the communities that aren't necessarily actively participating in some of these neighborhood projects? We can go to a Stonewood or wherever and say, look at what we did in Northview.
Right. So part of the program is a weight loss contest. So folks have the chance to win $500. Man and woman who loses the most weight at this end of the program is going to win $500, which is why we weighed everyone in. So that's a measuring tool. We're weighing people in at the beginning of the program and the end of the program. And of course, you have to keep track of your miles. So this could get complicated. I'm not a complicated person. I will accept any reasonable way you want to provide me those miles. And I actually made a walking log for folks. And really, it's just a calendar that people can keep track of their miles. And I might have put in some of the events that we're having throughout the summer so you could follow. But I also offered, if you want to keep track on your iPhone or your Fitbit, that's totally fine. Maybe email me, text me those miles so that I can keep track of them too. Now, almost every single person that has registered so far has taken home that paper tracker because it's just convenient. Even if you keep track on your Fitbit, it would just be easy to write it down and bring it back to me, which is really interesting because Will was, in his plan, he had proposed, what was it called? He was a Boy Scout, and he thought that folks can keep track of their progress, kind of like a Boy Scout would.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
the idea was the healthy handbook. That
Yeah.
was the idea that Team Northview had pitched, and it was again, it was based on when I was young and I was Boy Scout. We had merit badges where you had to accomplish certain objectives in the merit badge handbook to receive the merit badge. So that was kind of the idea that we just kind of piggybacked on, and there were several different events from Tai Chi, which has been incorporated, to the walking. The 90 miles in 90 days walking plan, and there were some other things, disc golf, frisbee, we had a different ideas, and basically you stamped it or initialed it and then brought the handbook back, and that would put you in the running for a gift card or cash prize. And that was just the idea, and I think it was 12 pages or 8 pages, something along those lines. And they had just different things that were happening in there, and I'm glad that we cherry picked the best ones to go forward with.
Yes, and I had a feeling that the paper tracker would probably be folks in Northview would want to do, because not everybody was super comfortable with apps or emailing me or texting me or has a Fitbit. But if you walk briskly for 15 minutes, that's about a mile, and we can keep track of that, or so many steps is within a mile. So like I said, most people went home with that paper tracker, and I do expect to get those back. And that's that measuring tool that, the professionals can look at and say, look what Healthy Harrison did.
We can do it. Right. That's great. Yeah. We found out through health games that everyone loves a healthy competition. So
Yeah.
even if you're competing against yourself, it's
yeah,
great.
that's true. Yes.
We're just about out of time. We've mentioned before, and I don't know that I've mentioned it today, but I should. Healthy Harrison has a website, healthyharrison.org, where there's a lot of information for you. They also have a Facebook page. I didn't want to leave today without letting you mention your Facebook page, right? How do they find the Northview project?
Northview, Healthy Harrison.
Okay. Simple as that, but I wanted to make sure that we reiterated that there is a specific page for what you're doing, particularly for the folks that might be tuning in that are Northview residents and want to know, how do I get to be a part of this? Amy, good deal. Another good healthy week. And
Yes,
I certainly want to thank Will and Jennifer for being with us, but more importantly, boy, thank you guys for your participation at this at various levels, because we can't develop healthier communities in North Central West Virginia or the state of West Virginia, which is our ultimate goal. That's why the involvement from WVU Medicine and WVU West Virginia University, they want us to develop templates here locally that we can spread statewide. And we can't do that without active folks like you that are inspirational and willing to walk to 1,400 homes, did you say,
Yes.
to spread the good word. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. It's, again, our goal to change your state of mind and ultimately change the state of health locally and all over the state of West Virginia. Don't forget, visit healthyharrison.org or visit the Healthy Harrison Facebook page or the Northview Facebook page, and you'll find lots of support. Again, we thank our sponsors, WVU Medicine, United Hospital Center, West Virginia University, the State Journal, wvnews.com, and Interaction Media. You can learn more, again, by visiting our Facebook page. We thank all of our folks on the Healthy Harrison staff and board of directors. Amy, thanks for joining us again today. And I think we're still working. John Paul Nardelli, our great executive director, is working on guests for next week. So we'll keep that a surprise, but we will in fact be here next Friday at 12:30 to do more of this. And in the meantime, we hope that all of you take advantage of the opportunities going on all over the Clarksburg area in the various communities. Live healthier, live happier, eat better. You'll feel good. You won't want to hit that snooze button anymore. You'll get up with great joy, a smile on your face, and you'll attack the day. Thanks, everybody. See you next
Thanks,
week.
Gary.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.